Hello everyone, today I'm going to report about the impact of globalization in communication skills development. So what is globalization? Globalization is the spread of products, technology, information, and jobs across national borders and cultures. In economic terms, it describes an interdependence of nations around the globe fostered through free trade. On the upside, ang kaning globalization kay maka-raise ni siya og standard of living sa mga pobre or less developed countries sa pamaagi nga makahatag siya og job opportunities unya nga to ang country kay ma-modernize o ma-improve ang access sa goods and services. Pero on the downside pod, naiuban na maka-destroy ni siya og job opportunities dito sa mga developed o mga tag-as na sweldo nga countries kay ang mga production of goods kay magsige mag-move across borders. So, the impact of globalization on cross-cultural communication. Communication skills has always been an important factor of success in business. But the influence of globalization and cross-cultural interaction in recent decades has impacted the types of communication skills needed in dramatic ways. No longer can entrepreneurs afford to simply communicate well within their own homogeneous cultures. Today, people need to understand the dynamics of long-distance collaboration, the impact of culture on manners of speaking and body language, and how to use technology to communicate with people on the other side of the globe. Understanding the impact of globalization on each of these factors can help the people to select the most useful communication skills development programs for the employee. So, cultural awareness kay mahimo na siyang essential kung ang mga tao magsige og interact sa mga tao from other cultures. And people see, interpret, and evaluate things in different ways. What is considered right way of doing things in a culture is not usual in other one and vice versa. For example, kanang sa ato ang culture na atay mga naandan na pina Maria Clara, dili diha dayon, pero once na makamita og tao nga iyahang culture kay western which is liberated, diha nato matan-aw nga ato ang gibuhat or iyahang gibuhat kay sakto ba atong matandi ug unsay sakto ba ang gibuhat sa usa o dili siya usual para sa ato ang culture. So next, the awareness of cultural sensitivity. If people do not have cultural sensitivity awareness, this would misinterpret and misunderstand other people's different need. A misinterpretation comes when the people lack awareness of their own behavioral rules and show them to others. Becoming aware of the cultural dynamics is a difficult task because culture is not conscious to us. So, I agree nga ang culture dili na siya conscious to us. We are the one who is conscious to the culture. For example, sa Russia kay smiling sa tao nga dili nimo kaila is considered as rude. Pwede ka buyagon dito sa police. Pero here in the Philippines, ato ang culture kay since we are very kanang hospitality bitaw ang mga Pinoy, bisag kinsa lang imo masugatan wala ka makaila or nakaila may gabi, may buntag, mo-smile ka. Pero dito sa Russia it is considered as rude kay if mo-smile ka nga wala ka kaila, rude na para nila. The cultural knowledge. If one will go to abroad, they will not only get to know about the culture of the country they settled, but they will also live with different people's culture who come to volunteer or work like you from many parts of the world. Increased knowledge and better understanding of cultures is a basic thing towards development of your cultural awareness. So, kaning moadto kag abroad, it's expected nga dili lang kaayo ang mga taga didto ang imuhang makasalamuha. Because based on my kuya kay they live in one house pero there are different people with different nationalities and different cultures sa ilahang gipuy-an. So sa ilahang house na ay Ilongga, na ay Tagalog, which is they're just in the same country pero naay nagkalahi-lahi nga culture. So dili lang kaayo ang culture sa lugar na imong gilargahan ang imong ma-learn, kundi ang mga culture pod sa kauban nimo sa balay. Communication. One of the challenges that people will face in going to abroad for work is the communication problem. They need to understand a local culture and perhaps learn some words to possibly communicate better with each other. Outstanding communication skills developed through multicultural work environments are valuable inputs to increase your cultural awareness. So in communication, dili lang kaayo language barrier ang imong problemahon ani. Ang communication problem jud ani niya kay there are a lot of ways manggod that one person will communicate. Some people communicates according to their culture. Ilahang the way sila mo-communicate can vary according sa ilahang culture. So dili lang kaayo ang ilahang language imong i-learn kundi ang ilahang naandan nga culture the way they speak. So that is considered as the communication problem, especially kung moadto kag abroad for work. Appreciating differences. There are differences in values, beliefs, interests, ethnicity, age, religion, gender among people. The fact that accepting there are differences and valuing them is another thing you get when you are multicultural environment that will shape you to become someone with an advanced level of cultural awareness. Or for example, naa ka nag-eskwela sa Osaka International School. So expected na akay makasalamuha nga mga tao or na akay classmates with different religion, lahi sila o gender, or lahi ilahang sex preference, lahi ilang values, o especially ilahang interest, ilang beliefs, ingana. So, once maka-appreciate ka sa tao sa iyahang pagka-different nimo, o imuhang pagka-different niya, ma-shape ka na to become someone nga mas naka sa advanced level sa cultural awareness. So, next, gender equality, also known as success equality, is a state of equal ease of access to resources and opportunities regardless of gender, including economic participation in decision-making, and state of valuing different behaviors, aspirations, and needs. So, gender equality. So, this is a very common issue here in the Philippines, but not only in the Philippines, kay have you ever heard na giingnan ka nga dili na niya kaya uy kibabay na siya, or kanang mag-drive makadungog ka babay siguro ang nag-drive ani. Doesn't mean na if babay ka dili nimo kaya ang mga buhatonon sa lalaki, and if laki ka di sa nimo kaya ang mga buhatonon sa usa ka babay. So next, culture affects communication in daily life. Cross-cultural communication is extremely important in today's fast-growing and globalized world. Not only in terms of face-to-face communication between different ethnical individuals, but also in an increasingly essential demand in the ability to interact with our community in social media such as Facebook. The means to connect ourselves with different types of people around the globe with different cultures and backgrounds makes the success or failure of communication within social media increasingly relevant today. For instance, a simple click of the like button might have a massive impact on the online and the offline world. So, karon no na namang social media, especially most used social media is Facebook gyud. So, amid sa pagpangampanya sa politika karon, ang like button means a lot to people. Kay butang talang there's a Lenny supporter niya, nakakita siya sa iyang friend nga ni-like sa picture ni BBM, sometimes it could be a big deal for her. So dako kaayo og kanang impact karon ang like button man lang. Globalization affects how people communicate. Globalization widens the circle and people can communicate with others around the world. Hence, technology and internet help a lot in communication these days. However, since people can just communicate through social media and other platforms like email, it makes us lack of communication skills, especially when we talk with people face to face. Someone can be excellent when communicating with other people in social media, but when meeting others in real life, he or she may not be as good in social media or the internet. In today's world, since when using platform to communicate and we cannot see the person that we are communicating, we might misunderstand what he or trying to say. In this case, the use of emoji helps a lot because it can express someone's feelings. Tungod sa sige na lang tag-use og email or maka-type and erase ta sa ato ang ipanote in social media, magtuo ang tao nga, okay, maini siya mo English. Pero in real life, ug ma-meet nimo ang usa ka tao, dili di kay siya ingon fluent, mas fluent siya through typing. So, nako example ani, I had this one friend who's half Japanese, half American. He's currently living in Talisay right now. Unya, sige mag-istorya through Telegram chat niya. Ingon siya na ako nga, good akong English skills. Pero og mo call siya, di ko magtingaw kay, di ko kaingon, miski usa lang ka word. Hi, rako ko, hi, hello. So that's all. The effects of globalization and global communication. Connecting with people on the other side of the world is now much easier than it was a few years ago. Satellites, fiber optic cables, and the internet makes it effortless to share information with those in different time zones and locations. Global communication is directly affected by the process of globalization and helps to increase business opportunities, remove cultural barriers, and develop a global village. Both globalization and global communication have changed the environmental, cultural, political, and economic elements of the world. So, I agree. Tungod sa kapaspas sa internet, ay nagkalahi-lahi nga mga nationality magkaabot sa Facebook or other social media platforms, ang pag-connect sa mga tao sa bisag asa sa kalibutan kay dali na lang jud kaayo. So, other effects of globalization on communication. Number 1, increased business opportunities. Many companies today hire employees that are located in other countries. Using communication vehicles such as video calling makes it simple to converse with colleagues across the globe, almost making it feel as if they are in the same room. Technology also makes it easier to connect with suppliers and customers all over the world and to streamline those relationships through improves ordering, shipment, tracking, and so on. So, karon na panahon na ever since nag-start ang pandemic, ni sikat jud ni ang online selling. So, because of it, dili lang pud tungod sa pandemic, tungod pud ni siya sa ka-advance sa panahon, which is karon na nay kusog nga internet, na nay mga nindot na gadgets, which is wala gid siya sa una, nya na nay mga vehicles na dali na lang nato mahatod tungod kay na nay mga vehicles, dali na lang nato mahatod ang atong gipamaligya, ni taas ang business opportunities around the globe. So, ang pinakadato karon kay ang tag-iya sa Amazon tungod sa online business. Fewer cultural barriers. Many people perceive that culture is the root of communication challenges. When people from two different cultures try to exchange information the way they speak, their body language and their mannerisms can be interpreted differently by the other person. The way people approach problems and how they participate in communities is all influenced by culture. Globalization has made it possible. So, for example, kita mga Pinoy nga magsige na lang tanaw og K-drama, makasabot na ta sa ilahang way of living, makasabot na ta sa ilahang culture, which it's taking down another cultural barrier a little by little. Next, virtual interactions. Globalization has introduced virtual communication and collaboration as a major part of workplace dynamics. Modern entrepreneurs need to understand the strengths and limitations of different communications media and how to use each medium to maximum effect. For example, kana mag-communicate ta via email to distant team members. Unya, kanang lahi ra baya gina siya sa face-to-face interactions, di ba? So, holding virtual meetings requires a similar change in approach. Kanang atong email kay murag formal kay tanan, pero inig-hold na to sa virtual meeting kay medyo mo crack ta og joke, and ana mo less formal siya. Lahi ra gyud ang the way ka mag-type ra ka kay imo ra ma-type delete ang imong gustong isulti. lahi ra siya sa kanang makaistorya jud ka kay naay times nga di ka kapugong sa imong isulti. Cultural awareness in speech. The need for cultural awareness is a major impact of globalization and the required skill set of effective communicators, resulting in the evolution of communication skills development programs. Modern entrepreneurs and employees need the ability to catch subtle nuances of people's manner of speech when communicating across cultures. Even when two people are speaking the same language, cultural differences can affect vocabulary, colloquial expressions, voice tone, and taboo topics. For example, pareha nato diri, same language siya itong gigamit sa taga Carmen o taga Katmon, pero ang taga Katmon lahi siya og tono. So, usahay og mustorya taga Carmen, sometimes makonsider na siya sa taga Katmon nga murag nangisog kay malumanay man sila mo istorya. Cultural awareness in body language. Awareness of cultural differences in body language can be just as important as the nuances of speech. Modern training programs teach students to understand acceptable speaking distances, conflict styles, eye contact, and posture in different cultures, accepting that the physical expressions of their own culture are not universally accepted. Look for training programs that address this difference to prepare your face-to-face meetings with foreign suppliers, customers, or team members. Yes, I totally agree with this. Kaya kabantay mo sa Korea, kaya tagang sila lain-lain nga pamaagi sa pagyabo sa tubig, if magwang panimo, ana, kay naabagid sila ka ng murag magkupot sa ubos, unya, or kupot dinhi, o na mo yabo sa tubig. So, ang ato ang pamaagi diri kay wala lang o ganang kagtubig at tagaan ti ka ingana ra biya ang sa Pilipinas. So, dili gid na siya universally accepted. So, naatay mga binuhatan diri sa Pilipinas nga dili siya accepted sa uban na countries. So next, time differences. The advent of global collaboration introduces another new dynamic to communication skills. The need to communicate and share information with people across several time zones. When people collaborate with others on the other side of the globe, their counterparts are usually at home asleep while they themselves are at work. Today's communication skills development program should address the nuances or overcoming this challenging by teaching people to understand the information needs of their colleagues according to the communication styles of different countries or cultures. Being able to effectively share information between shifts can make or break the productivity of a geographically dispersed team, making this an important issue for many companies. Time differences. Ang pinaka best example for this kay kanang call center. So ang call center kay they work on dawn time here sa Philippines, kay sa other countries buntag pa na siya, which is nag-operate ang time dito sa gawas while ang mga tao dito sa Pinas dapat mga tug na. So mga nang ang mga call center agents kay nagmata na sila og kadlaw kay ang ilang sunod na time zone kay ang sa gawas man. So that's all. Thank you.